guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. This one's a little bit different than what we've been doing because this is part 1 of 2. The furnishing on this house ended up being so much on its own that it's going to be its own video, which should be out probably about a week or two from this one. We're going to be around the holidays, so every time I think I've got something planned, it goes a little bit sideways because of holiday stuff, but that's all good. It's the fun of the season. So this house started as a sort of a, well, in my head it was like a gothic build, like a Victorian sort of like really dramatic, like Vlad would live here sort of thing. Did not happen that way, in large part because turns out I don't know how to build that. Like I couldn't visualize it enough to get it to work, but that's okay. It just ended up turning into a farmhouse situation, and it kind of went through multiple stages, which we'll get into more in the buy part of it, like who lives here and stuff. But just for like basics, it's a little grandma and her granddaughter, and then her granddaughter's best friend live here. That was kind of the idea behind it. The thing about this house is I love the furnishing, and I like the look of it, but this house is a good candidate for a reno eventually, I think, because like the walls are really too high, and this house was actually done before the Windows update, which like we can stack windows and change windows and do a bunch of interesting stuff with windows now, but we couldn't before. I think this house would really benefit from that, and I think it would honestly benefit from smaller walls, but at the time, because I was trying to do a Victorian, I was trying to do like this really tall intense house, and it just ended up not quite working that way. I think it's cute, like in the long run it turns out cute. It takes us a while to get there, and some of the stuff is based on real life houses, like the little side door into the kitchen, that's based on a house that a family member owns, and some of the back porch stuff is based on the way a family member's house is, and a lot of the furnishing when we get there in the next video is actually based on my own grandma's house. So it is a really cute little house. Not little, it's 3 bedroom, 3 bath. So it's actually quite a big house, but it definitely turned out different than the original plan. And this roofing killed me. I don't think I have ever made those octagonal, or I think there's a hexagonal one as well. I've never made those roofs work. I'm not sure their use case, and I've never made the round one work. I don't know how to make those work. I struggle with those. That's why this house ended up being very square, which again was also not the intention. But it ended up working out that way because I was like, I give up, because I cut a lot of it out. But I think I finally sat down and like all things said and done, I think this house ended up taking me like over 100 hours because I kept redoing it and cut so much out. And this roof, I wanted an attic. It didn't end up happening. The roof was too tall, but that's okay. Yeah, see, you can see here that like I finally gave up on it. There's no attic in there. I think there's enough room you could put stuff up there like we did in our family farm build. I didn't in this build, honestly. There's no way up there, and that wasn't really the play style of this house. I didn't think this isn't like a family necessarily bursting at the seams. Also, this wallpaper would have been so great if it worked, but it's that auto placing molding? Yeah, we'll go with it. It's the auto placed molding that the Sims 4 does, and it does not work. It does not find the right places to put them. Like, see, it ignores that whole side. So I ended up doing it with columns, which since the platform updates now disappear randomly, which is unfortunate for this house. So, but it's okay. We went through, and I think I placed probably like 200 columns all said and done, but it works out. And I do like the green, and I like the green roof. It kind of cracked me up. Where I live, there's a lot of metal roofs, because it makes sense in this area, but there's a lot of like baby blue metal roofs, and it confuses me because they're all white houses with baby blue metal roofs. It had to have been a sale or something, because it is an intense color. It is nothing quite matches it. It's very interesting, but it cracked me up because the first thing that happened is a family member walked in and was like, oh, you made a blue roof house. This painted porch thing is kind of odd, the bright green porches. But again, that is based on a real life house that a family member of mine owns. They have a really pretty white farmhouse with blue accents, and so their porch is actually sort of a light creamy blue that has to be repainted all of the time. So probably not like ridiculously practical, but that's kind of what I was mimicking with the green. And it goes, obviously this is a very green and white house. This house would be so cute at Christmas. I should make my Sims decorate for Christmas. I ended up painting the windows there quite a bit and stuff, but yeah, that is actually based on a real life thing, and I think it looks really cool. It is a nice little pop of color there. These, I can't remember if I ended up removing them. I do end up fixing them, and they get raised higher there, but I think they go up, I'm trying to remember, I think they go up a little bit higher still to match the roof. So they're a detail you'll never see, but there are little like doodads in there. I can't remember what they're called now. So this is another thing that'll change going forward. You can see me kind of laying up. The upstairs doesn't change as much. The downstairs ends up getting a lot more closed off and a lot more like appropriate maybe for the era that the house kind of looks like it was built in. And it ends up like kind of dating itself, but in like, in my opinion, a really cute way. So this floor plan gets modified quite a bit. Not quite a bit. It's still, the bones basically stays. The kitchen still stays for the most part in that corner where I was thinking. And the bathrooms all functionally stay. I think they just get like changed in terms of shape and stuff. And like all of this landscaping goes a little bit different. But yeah, I struggled with the floor plan for a while, and I definitely had, again, like a different idea of what I was trying to accomplish. And then I walked away for like a month from this house, and I came back and it was like, I have a completely different plan. So it'll be interesting. It's kind of fun to see it in the next video. I tried to combine them and make just one long video. Too long. Even with everything cut out, too long for one video. So yeah, here's a couple of screenshots, mostly of the outside. You'll see a little bit of, I guess, a spoiler alert, kind of, sort of, because you can see some of the decor and some of the landscaping, which is much prettier in other seasons. Side note, for some reason I'm still shooting in winter, but yeah, here's the outside of the house. I think it turns out cute. Nice view of the canal and all the other houses, and a fishing spot. So that's all for me. The next part of this build should be up fairly soon, and I'll link it in the description when it is. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, and I will talk to y'all soon.